with sweet noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Hello and good evening and welcome to The Truth Behind the Truth. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. We appreciate you taking time out of your wonderful life and your busy schedule to tune in to Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Want to welcome our YouTube viewers. I always say that every week.
Thank God you didn't say visitors.
Visitors.
That's the church way of saying visitors.
And of course, our Facebook family, we thank you for tuning in as well. And our Instagram family that comes over. We're going to be broadcasting live from Instagram pretty soon. So keep on the lookout for that, as well. If you guys are not liking, sharing, get on your job. Okay, we need you to like, share, and what? Subscribe. Okay,
we can only do so much. You can't subscribe everywhere.
I know, right?
I'm telling you,
we can't do it.
We can't do it on our own, but y'all can do it.
Exactly. We need you guys to do it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys tuning in every week and really making Truth Behind Truth what it is and what we're becoming. Oh my gosh! Before we talk about the T-shirt, we got to talk about next Sunday.
Oh yeah,
next Sunday, guys. Okay, we'll be doing our regular show Saturday night, but we have a special show next Sunday, January. Look at me, December
2020 got the best.
I know
it really got the best of him because he wanted to be January now.
I know, right?
2021. Listen, you're not the only one. I can tell you that.
I know.
Okay,
December 13th, regular scheduled time. Okay,
Yeah.
9 p.m. on the East Coast. 8 p.m. Central Time and 6 p.m. on the West Coast. It is our reunion Zoom of the Actors Symposium.
Yes.
So all of the wonderful actors that have been a part of the symposium over the past few months, we're back all together, and we have a superstar of a surprise that will be coming on the show that night. I am so excited to have this person, and you guys will be too. So you got to tune in. Okay,
Yeah.
Next Sunday night, December 13th. Okay,
Yeah.
2020. All right, 2020. All right, please be tuned into us. It's going to be a phenomenal show with everybody being back together. On to what? The T-shirts.
Woo.
Hey, it's the holiday season.
Yeah.
Get that T-shirt.
Yeah.
Get that T-shirt. Go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Scroll all the way down. So I go to scroll through. Scroll all the way down to the PayPal section. Click on it, and there you go. You can get your T-shirt from that particular point.
Yeah.
Get your T-shirts. We need your support. Hey, it's Christmas time.
Yes, it is.
It's gift time.
Yeah. And plus, these shirts are really good for if you want to do a lot of. Let me just say this. Just get the shirts because we all need to know that there's a truth behind the truth. This has been a Truth Behind the Truth 2020.
It has.
And it's going to be another Truth Behind the Truth 2021.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I'm on it.
2021. So let's get it.
I'm on it with you. I'm on it.
Let's get it.
I want to tell you a little bit about tonight's show, guys. We're going to have a wonderful co-host tonight, which is my dear heart, my cousin, Miss Tawana. Scott will be with us tonight as my dear cousin. We'll be bringing up in a moment as our special guest co-host tonight. And our guest tonight, oh my gosh, this is my dear heart in Atlanta. We have been friends for quite some time. She's a part of the Actors Symposium, of course, if you guys saw her with us earlier on at that. But she's back tonight, okay, to celebrate the season.
Yeah.
Okay, this is our kickoff for the holiday season. Okay, she's here to celebrate, talk about her new CD.
Yeah.
Sounds of the Season with Chandra Corelli. All right, It's going to be a phenomenal show tonight, so we're really, really excited about that. But without further ado, because we want to get in a host chat in a few minutes with that, with Tawana up, we want to bring to you guys. All right, my dear heart cousin, Mrs. Tawana Hall Scott to the show tonight. Hey,
Hi.
Hello, good.
Good to be here.
Yes, glad that you take your time out to not be a guest now, but you're a co-host tonight, girl.
Yes, you are.
Hey, I'm coming on up in the universe, huh?
Absolutely. Hey, we keeping it in the family.
I
Yeah.
know, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm delighted to be here and looking forward to being able to connect and get to know Miss Corelli even more, Chandra Corelli.
Yes.
Even more. So this is a good evening. Looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Yes, it is. So, how's your day been?
Oh, glad you asked. Let me think. I think it's been fantastic. I did what all of us should do each day. Started out with my creator,
Yes.
and then took some time today to exercise.
Wow.
That's not necessarily what I wanted to do, but in order to be able to stay functional in the universe, I
Yes.
made myself do it. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But you know, that's another form of meditation.
Well, it is.
It's another form of meditation and self-preservation.
Right.
That's one thing I was telling somebody on the job today. You know, people are so stressed out and anxiety is so high, and mental illness is also on the on the
Well,
high too.
we
these
know that
days.
from the White House.
Well, listen, I'm like this. The
That's
news cycle is just horrendous. It's just
Oh, my God.
horrendous, and it's odious these days just to watch the craziness. But we need curriculums, extra curriculums when it comes down to our own life of
Right.
maintaining our mental stability, our physical health. Because nowadays that is so important with the pandemic, with
Yes.
and everything that's going on around us. You know what? There was an article that came out in the New York Times. I think Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex from New England, she had written an article about her miscarriage, which was a great,
I remember that.
which was a great article.
Right.
But she was also in the midst of that article, not only talking about her grief, but talking about the griefs of others during this time of the pandemic.
Right.
Are we asking each other, are we okay?
Right.
Are we okay?
Right.
Especially when now that we know that things are just being blown
Yeah,
out of
chaotic,
proportion, So I think, to be honest with you, that workout, yoga, praying,
Right.
whatever you do to keep yourself together, that is the best way. And listen, big up to you, Tawanda. Girl, keep doing you.
Oh, right. Oh, no. I agree. One of the things I'm going to say a point about, one of the things that I love about Twan and I is that we've kind of made a pact over the years that we check on each other. You know what I'm saying? We constantly, because if I hadn't heard from her or she hadn't heard from me, she'd be like, "Oh, what's up? Time to call." And we generally talk no less than 2 times a month. No less than 2 times.
Yes. Yeah.
At the end of the day. So I appreciate that because she knows how much I look up to her, in so many ways. I mean, you guys just, how she has just formed my life in so many ways. I don't even have time to talk about it. That's because, okay, I'm taking that's because.
And I think something else that's so important is I prefer to call this season that we, the word teaches us to speak those things that are not
right
as though they are.
Right, exactly.
So rather than me referring to this as a pandemic, I've been referring to it as a praise-demic.
Okay.
Yes, there is a lot of negativity going on. Yet if I choose to focus on that, that is where I will be and stay. I choose to focus on the goodness. So therefore I am praising 24/7, praising with my body, praising with my spirit, doing something that lifts me up and enables me to lift my other brother, sister, mother, whoever up. Because the stuff that's coming out of these other places is not, doesn't necessarily feel good, look good, is good, but praising is always good for you. So I'm going praising. Okay.
Gotcha. I feel like, it's wonderful that you mentioned that one of our actors that has been on the show that will be back, he called me today. He was confirming, the time frame for next week. But I was telling you about this a little while ago, is that, our creator has such a great way and I always say, I don't like to use the term timing because to me that interjects us. I like to say time, because our creator is specific. We're not specific a lot of times, but he is specific. So it's an appointed time for everything to fall in its specific place, even to a phone call. It's an appointed time that time that call should happen.
Yeah.
So he called me today, and real quick, and then we'll get on with the show. I don't want to keep shouting waiting too long. That he was calling to check in about next week, in the time frame or what have you. Didn't realize that he was in a need of a solid encouragement for where he was and what he was dealing with. So he just started pouring out. And unknowingly, he started pouring out his mom, and we lifted him up in the university in healing. His mom was dealing with stage 4 cancer, and all of the other things that were piling up on him dealing with that, trying to make decisions. And he's like, bro, I just needed to talk to you today. And I wasn't expecting it, but the message from our creator said, call JB. What I'm saying? And it was so solid and exactly what he needed to hear to uplift him, into or dealing with what he has been having to deal with, and let him know that he was strong in spite of what he thought that he wasn't strong in. So it just kind of goes back to exactly what you're saying, course of the day.
But that is so needed in these times.
Right.
You lend your ear to him for his situation with his mother, which is, there is just so much. And, we're not going to delve on too much of the negativity because I feel like there's a positive thing that's happening. There's a revolution that is starting within people.
I like the revolution.
There is a revolution that's starting within people because communities are, what social media has really at times divided us, but now it's beginning to really bring us together in communication, especially when it comes down to your phones. We didn't get to celebrate. I don't know who celebrated Thanksgiving with their families, but there were those who could not go home to their families. There are people who work in the hospitals who are essential workers. They could not go home and celebrate because of the situation. But what really happened was whoever that you're living with, family, children, family, husband, whatever, in ways they're getting closer. People are really understanding that we need to grow closer together in order to survive.
Exactly.
Communication has to be better. We have to open our ears to what's going on around us and start to communicate with our families more. It's just the fact that before that, then we were so busy. We were so busy 2 years ago. I'm so busy. I got to work. I got sports, and my kids got school stuff. Now that the pandemic it's an unfortunate thing that the pandemic had to come for us to do it, but it did come, and now people are honing in on the value and the importance of community and family. And I'm sorry, but I think this was a spiritual thing that needed to happen.
I agree. I said it all along.
A spiritual thing that needed to happen. And this guy came on my job and said, I don't believe in the COVID. Well, listen, you don't have to believe in it. You don't have to even see it. I'm so happy that he didn't live in the times of the children of Israel in Egypt, when God told them to put the blood of the lamb on the door. I'm so happy that because there have been a lot of people who would have been so disappointed because they did not see it.
Okay, that's a good way to say
I'm
it.
just saying, in biblical time, we would have been all messed up. It's just, but it's not important.
You had a point, Juan? Good.
You all touched on so many things, but you are exactly right. This could have been for many people, and I don't want to give the impression that, everything is wonderful. There's been a lot of pain this season, a lot of pain. Yet it is a lesson and a story for all of us that in the middle of the pain, whatever is going on in our lives, in the middle of the pain, there is always some goodness that can come out of it. And we have to wire ourselves to look for the good. I'm reminded of this story of a little boy who found a pile of horse manure or Donkey Kong, and he's digging all through the mess. He just digging through it. And people are running and screaming and going the other way. And his response is, there must be a donkey in here somewhere. In other words, this crap, or without other word, people would say it another way.
Right. If you felt like it, you could say we have no filters. That's why we the truth behind the truth.
So, you know, when we look at all this mess that's going on around us, it's like, you know what? This is bad, but it's got to be some good in here somewhere. Therefore, I'm going to align myself with my creator and stay vertical.
Right.
Stay vertical.
Stay vertical. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and go to commercial break because we got Chandra waiting on us. Okay. So we're going to go to our commercial, and we'll be right back with Miss Chandra Corelli, guys.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes.
Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and sweet sweet noodles. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and sweet noodles. Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Hello, welcome back, guys. Thank you for tuning into the truth behind the truth.
Yeah.
We're so happy and blessed to have our co-host tonight, Mrs. All the above. My dear, our cousin, Juana. Oh, Scott.
Yes.
Great to be here. Great to
Thank
be
you for
here.
taking time out to be here tonight. Guys, I want to remind everyone once again, I'm sure you saw the advertisement about it, but please mark your calendars for next Sunday night, December 13th, 2020. Whatever your time frame is. Hey, time frame. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central time, 8 p.m. East Coast, 9 p.m. for the Zoom, the big Zoom of the Actors Symposium. All of our wonderful actors that have been a part of the show will be back joining us. It is going to be a phenomenal show, and we have got the special guest of special guests, guys. And you guys will be so surprised to see that. Want to remind you again, get that T-shirt.
Get the T-shirt.
Get that T-shirt.
And for those who are watching, don't be afraid to say, hey, we are seeing you. I just saw Melissa not too long ago. So, hey, Melissa, I know there's somebody else on the live too. So just don't be afraid to say, hey, we will acknowledge you. Trust me, we will acknowledge you.
Thanks for tuning back. It's been a while, Joe. We haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for tuning back.
Yes.
But anyway, and then I just want to welcome everybody from all of our viewing audience, from our YouTube audience, Facebook audience, and Instagram as well. All right, without further ado, are we ready for this?
We're ready.
We are ready for the songstress.
Yeah.
All right, herself. Okay, maybe she'll come on giving us a little melody as we introduce her. I don't know. But she is a dear sister of mine. I love her dearly. We've sung in the choirs together. We have done a lot of things together there when we were in Atlanta. But we love her for taking the time out of her schedule to come back on the show tonight prior to next week, and talking about this wonderful album that she's done, her album of the season, her favorite things. All right. So we're going to dig into that. But welcome into the show once again, my dear heart, Miss Chandra Corelli.
All right. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you for having me back.
Oh my God! Look, thank you for coming back. It was our pleasure. You know that. You know that. Just and I love. One thing I love about Chandra, she has such an infectious smile.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I got it from my mother.
Really? I mean, you always right. It's beautiful because you got the type of. I'm gonna be funny real quick. You got the type of smile to be smiling. Somebody be like, "You better get the hell out of my face, too."
I can't.
Okay, I'm done with you. It's like
that Southern thing. That's that Southern hospitality people seem to miss around this neck of the woods.
Exactly.
You do it crazy.
But I love it. Also, we're gonna dig in. Twan, if you want to go first, ask some Sean some questions, then we're gonna dig in, talk about the album and all that great stuff. Get into talk about bro as well. So go ahead, Sean. Twan, you want to?
Yes, Chandra. A lot of people are quick to immediately dig into musically what you're doing and what you've done. Yet I want to come from a different perspective this evening. Talk to us a little bit about your core, your family life, your daughter. I think you have a daughter named.
No, I have a son.
A son. Okay, a son. Forgive me. So talk to me about family life and how that centers you, or how going to work helps you keep that balance. Just how does all that work together for you?
Well, it's always been important for me. It's always been an important thing, even though entertainer, you travel, you do all the kind of, different type of jobs where it keeps you away from your family. And I know, even though you're away from your family, you need somebody that's going to keep you grounded, somebody that's going to keep you centered and understanding that it's about a purpose, and it's about your immediate purpose. It's the very people that are around you. I know I go out and I bless other people around, when I sing and I act and all that. But if home is not right, then I can't send that out to other people.
Yes.
That's the root. Who I am at home makes a difference when I go out into the world. So it's important that I have a very peaceful, home life. I always tell, entertainers that. I mean, if you're not on solid ground, the industry will tear you apart.
Yes, it will.
And relationships are so important. And so when your relationship at home is right, you can work with those relationships, outside.
Out there. Yes.
Right, in the world. Yeah. It actually teaches you how to be.
How old is your son?
My son is 26.
Oh, okay. Your son is grown.
Yeah, he's grown. Right.
Okay. Grown. Any grandchildren?
Hmm?
Any
no,
grandchildren?
no grandchildren, no grandchildren yet. We
No, no
talked about
pressure.
that. Okay, I know. No, I
You
mean
know what?
because yeah, I mean that's something to say in this time and day
It is.
when people are
Yeah,
so young becoming parents,
yeah,
and I think because my husband was one of those people that was young, and I think he told him that look, make sure it's somebody that that you want to be with for a long time.
yes. A
Yeah.
friend,
Yes, a friend.
a friend.
So I
Yes.
think he took that to heart. But I'm getting ready to speed it up and say, "Come on now, you got to be somebody you like. Come on."
That brings to mind one of the things that my father told me as I began to walk down the aisle in my first marriage. He said, "Keep in mind, if you're not marrying a friend, you're going to bed every night with a potential enemy."
Wow.
I never forgot it. I never
Yeah.
forgot
Well,
it.
I'm married my best friend.
Praise
But
God.
but you know what? For women entertainers, besides Miss Sandra, I'm so sorry. But I'll get so tongue tied because
Take your time.
because this is just one of my favorite topics is music. But I was reading something with Tracy Ellis Ross where she was talking, and she's the daughter of Diana Ross, and we all know Miss Ross was a global and still is a global singer. But the fact of having to maintain the home and maintain children, people thought, well, she doesn't have time. But Tracy always said that, living in the legacy of her mother, she was not living in the shadows of her mother. She was living in the embrace. And I see that type of relationship with you and your son from a distance. It's the family and the relationship with you and your son is embrace.
Yes.
It's very positive. And I think as for women entertainers, that there's a double standard for male entertainers where the pressure is always trying to keep the family and the foundation stable. Was that pressure on you when you were a lot younger than now, in the beginning stages of your career?
I just didn't have that because it was just that time. I had done a lot of things already that I wanted to do as far as my career is concerned. And I wanted to have a balanced life. So by the time I decided to get married and have a family, I just think I was just ready for it mentally, and it took priority. I mean, it was easy for me. I had a very strong support system. And so when it was time for me to go back out to do what I had to do after I had my son, God spoke and said, because at one point I didn't even realize that, I was holding back. I was doing just that. I can't leave, but I never said it. I never really, thought about it, I guess, until one day in my spirit said, I can't bless you unless you go out. And so you're going to have to go out. And I've already given you the support system. So you don't have a reason to stay. I mean, to worry about how it's going to be. Your husband is going to be fine. You have your mother, you have his mother. And they were just, the way it was set up, it was crazy. My mother and my husband's mother stayed in the same complex.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
Then I started just watching how things have been put in order for me to step out. He said, you're going to have to step out, and you're going to have to trust your husband, and you're going to have to trust your family, that he's going to be okay. And then you set a perimeter. You say, this is what I do. I'm going to do this for so long, and then I'm coming home. If after a certain amount of time, they're going to come to you. It's the way that you work it out. But I was built to do what I do. And I set up everything for me to be able to do it.
Yes.
And the other thing that I hear as you speak, you sound like you are in a constant conversation or a relationship with the Creator.
Yes. Yeah, it's constant. It's all the time. Even coming on here to talk about the CD, I never do anything without consulting.
Yes.
And so, it was time when I finished filming, and I said, God, you set me at a point where I could take care of what I needed to take care of in this pandemic. And I I said, but I have time. What is it that I supposed to be doing in this time?
Yeah.
And took me back to when he said, you hadn't recorded in a while.
Mm.
So, and I made it where you can afford to do it.
Yes.
And then I said, hold on, then what am I going to record? And he said, well, you said, you wanted to do a Christmas song or, CD or something. I was like, I don't have a whole bunch of songs. I don't know what song to do.
Right.
And it already was in preparation because I had been working on this particular song, but I was just playing around with it. I was just playing around with it and saying, one day when I get a chance, I'm going to do it like this. And he said, well, you've already worked on it. And then it came up.
Wow.
And said, and do it live. So do all live instruments.
Okay.
And so I did it and was able to do it with us protecting ourselves. It was a way that it could be done. And say, let it be that, and anything else that you record, let it be that way. So the people will feel the spirit of the players.
Yes.
And that's why this is different than anything else I've recorded, because sometimes it would just be like, got to do all the keyboards, and then I bring somebody in, that kind of thing. But these guys sat there and looked at each other, and we looked at each other and fed off of each other. And, and so it's different. And I'm hearing people say that. It's like, it's like I've heard you live, I've heard you record. It's something about this recording.
Yes.
And that's because you can feel them. You can feel the energy. You can feel their life in it. You can feel their life in it. And that's because I consulted. Yeah. It was you got to have wisdom. So sometimes you wait on her. I call her her. You wait on her.
Yes.
I first of all, I didn't want to say this quick moment. There's 2 points I want to make right here. I want to thank you for being led, I'm going to say, to bring the artistry back into recording.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for just being led to be able to do that. And I'm just going to take a spiritual moment to speak great success over this CD, and that it reaches and it touches whomever is set out there to be able to touch. Not even you see such a great financial blessing from it, but maybe this is the time that it will inspire these other pseudo, quote unquote, musicians to really understand that there's a true artistry about being there and hearing the vibrations of the band right in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And right in there. And I just want to say thank you for doing that. You know what I mean? Thank you for just being led to be able to do that. That's just awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And I mean, I enjoyed it. I've never done that before, even though I'm a live performer.
Right.
When I go in the studio, people always try to cut corners because it costs.
Exactly.
Because you got to pay them. You got, each instrument.
Right.
I have African drummers on here because I want that root, because that's what you feel when you feel up under that, the West African.
Yeah. Yes.
And I wanted to be true to the classic Rodgers and Hammerstein. I was wanted to be, so I made sure I had that, and that was articulate, and that the story was told, but the feel of it was who we are, who we, the people within that room playing, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out. So I mean, when you hear something, you go like, okay, we got to go back over in there and do it again. And each time we did it was different. Each time we did it was different.
Wow.
And so we finally came together with this as the producer, because you tell the bass player, you didn't do that like you did it the first time, because sometimes the first time, like Sade say, it's never like the first time. Something about
exactly.
You do something, so sometimes we had to go back and get that and let him hear it and say, see what you did when you wasn't thinking about it,
Right.
So that's what they'll get, and that's so true. And then when I did it, I didn't even think about that, but I think it'll make a difference to the people that respect what I do. And when I tell them that, I think they'll think it's okay to do that.
Right.
It's okay. I'm not just caught up in the technicality of things. I want somebody to feel something.
Right, exactly.
Well, I definitely respect your talent, because I tell him all the time, you and your voice is the voice that is so needed. I put you on the top tier of Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Diane Reeves, Aretha Franklin. I think just watching you live and your stamina and the way you present yourself is of the legends. It's needed in this culture that the art form of singing is so missed. And when you said that you use I'm telling you, instrumentation into your studio recording, I was like, this is just what is so needed. Because we're missing it. We're so missing it. And that is just wonderful. I really like, oh my goodness. Whew. Yeah.
But that's interesting. You said that, about the legends, because that's what that is. I listen to them and they set the standard. And they will continue to set the standard. I'll set the standard too. That's what I mean by the fact that me doing it that way, it will cause some of my peers to think about it, and consider it. But I always tell them, listen to the people that went before you. Amen. Because they too are the elders. It's just that, we don't kind of look at it like that. We look at them like that, but they're telling us how to do it. They're telling us how to do it.
You're so right.
And because of that, that's what you hear. You know, that's what you hear. And you can't miss with it because it's never trendy.
Yes, exactly.
It's what it is. It's real and it's never trendy.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about you reinvent yourself in a sense of taking it as far as communication is concerned. So it's like this generation has a voice. And so sometimes you gotta to get what you need to say to them, you gotta understand where they're coming from.
That's true.
But you don't change who you are. You don't change you because you have it like that. They can never be you. They're trying to do what you do, but they can never be you because you're it. You're it.
That's so true.
So when they're trying to get certain things, they have to look at it. They have to say, that's it right there. When they see me, it's like that's it right there. They're trying to get it.
I love that.
It.
Yes.
But I'm it. So
that's it. You're it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's gonna be hard for this generation to get that.
Exactly.
It's gonna be hard for them to get it because of how I got it.
Exactly.
We had to become it.
That's true.
We had to become it.
That's so
Nobody
true.
told us. Yeah, they never told us. We just, that's what they told us we had to do.
Right. You just had to become it.
What do you say to young people that are coming up or starting out in the business? You have been in theater and live, on Broadway. When you look at all of those different lines of coming into theater, which one usually demands or requires the most of you? If someone says, I prefer theater, or I prefer live, how would you respond to that?
You know what? Every medium has its own rules and its own standard. But I tell you, theater, you have to love theater because they don't. On Broadway you get paid really good, but you make a lot of money in film.
You do absolutely.
But especially if you do musicals. So that means that you have to learn your lines. You got to learn the song. You got to sing. You got to dance.
Okay.
So you have to have all these things that you got to do. That's really hard, and then you have to do them a certain amount of days a week, and your rehearsals are long. But it is a great training ground for a performer. It's just a great training ground for a performer. But I was just fortunate enough to be around people who I saw them make a living at it. I saw them work at their craft. So even then, when they kept saying, the what do you call it? The starving artist, that kind of thing. Well, I kind of saw it and then I didn't see it. Because they loved what they did. So they didn't come off like they were lacking.
Right.
Because they were doing things that they loved to do. So what I say about this to young people, decide whether or not you want to make a commitment to it. Because some things you want to just like I said, like with relationships, sometimes you just want to have a relationship, just hang out and do whatever. And then some relationships you want to marry. Make sure when you get in this, which one you want.
Wow.
Okay. That's
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But you know what? But you know what? You saying that is coming on the heels of another singer who just said that she's going to retire. A young singer named Tiana Taylor. I think that's her name, Tiana Taylor. She said that she's going to retire because she feels so unappreciative and underrated in the music world today. And she feels uninspired. Nobody's buying her stuff. And that is making her feel some type of way. So now she's going to retire. I've heard other singers who have not been nominated for Grammys. They're pissed off with the Grammy Association for not voting on their albums. And you're telling us, and I'm like so inspired because it's just like you said, if you're not inspired to keep going, then this is not your thing. But you have to love what you're doing to keep moving, to keep going, to keep growing. But you have these singers that want the spotlight so bad. It's like, you said in their presentation, I have to have that spotlight. But I think that's really the downfall of our industry right now when it comes down to the music industry.
How I like to sell time. There's so many there are people that are in it because they love it, and then there are other people that are in it because they want to be a star.
A star. Everybody wants to be a star.
Okay.
Right.
At the end we're going to go cut to a quick commercial, but I wanted Donna to read something real fast that you spoke of earlier about the preparation of having home together. And I had posted this on Facebook. Oh gosh, it's been like 10 years ago. But you know how Facebook does reminders, right? So this reminder came up today, and you almost literally spoke what this reminder was about in my philosophical. I'm having to read that, and then we're going to go to a quick break. And then when we come back from break, Twan, I want you to kind of share with Chandra how our family, and then how I'm just seeing how we're lining up in terms of what our ancestral, or like my mom and your mom, how they set the stage for what we're doing right now. And I want you to share about that story you shared with me, not the story, but the truth behind the truth on Facebook that time when I was on set.
Oh, okay.
If I can remember.
Yeah, remember? But go ahead and read that. We're going to go commercial after you read this. Go ahead.
It says, we can't fix the world until we have fixed our home. We can't bring healing to the world until we have healed ourselves.
Exactly what you said a few minutes ago.
Wow. It got good.
Okay.
Yes.
And this was one of my personal quotes that I did. When was this? December 5th, 2014.
Wow.
And it's amazing how. Yeah, December 5th, 2014. You regurgitated differently, but this is exactly what I wrote on Facebook back then. For such a time as this.
Yeah.
It is.
All right,
guys, we're gonna go right to commercial. We'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
waffle strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and sweet Suze with noodles. Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Hey everybody. Welcome back to the show, y'all. We just let me tell you, this is a great show. Who's ever watching it, y'all, keep saying hey, keep subscribing, y'all. Welcome back to the Truth Behind the Truth. We're here with our guest Sandra Corelli, and we just want to say, y'all, it's oh my goodness, it's this interview, oh my goodness, everything about this show is just inspiring. But please do not forget to get these shirts. You got to Christmas to get the shirts, y'all. You got, come on, y'all, come on, let's get a shirt here and there. But also subscribe, share, and also watch our new show that's coming up next weekend. We have a surprise guest coming on the 13th of this month. But you know what? I want to get back into this interview with Miss Corelli. Oh my goodness. Sandra, my favorite things. I tell you, when I think of this song, I never thought of it as a Christmas song when I heard it in The Sound of Music. Because we all know if you're a lover of musicals, a lover of films, we all know that it came from The Sound of Music. And I've heard so many renditions from the Super Duper Supremes to Luther Vandross, now to you. Oh my goodness. And you are really bringing it on this track. And you did say that you added some African drums to it and a little bit of jazz. But was this the only song that you wanted to go with? Or did you have other ideas of other Christmas music that you also wanted to introduce to as well, besides My Favorite Things? Or what brought you into wanting to perform this song?
Well, I think it was more about the fact of how the song, it makes you feel. It's more of a season song. It's about the season. And so I was, thinking about reaching out to everyone. And it kind of took me back to when I was a kid during Christmas time and how I looked at things and how I saw things. And it just took me back to being a child again. And so I think with everything going on, we kind of want to go back to feeling like that again, even with the Creator. That we become babies once again.
Right.
I mean, children at heart.
Right.
It has that kind of feel to it.
Yes. Yes.
And a time when our favorite things are the things that it's like the glue to us now.
Yeah.
The things that we love, the people that we love, the things that we love to do. It just spoke to the time more so than just Christmas. I know Christmas is a big thing to me.
Oh yeah,
But sometimes as an artist, you have to speak to the time and what's going on the earth.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And something where people can heal. Just something that I just think it has a healing spirit about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I want to hear what you got to say.
Well,
Go ahead.
how has the part of me feels like you've already set the stage for where you are in this, but where have you been? Where do you want to go as it relates to what's going on in the pandemic? It has affected people in so many different ways. I prefer to refer to it as a praise-demic, but how has it impacted you professionally, and how has it impacted you personally?
Again, personally, it has caused me to appreciate what I have. And it made me realize all the good things that was stored up for me. to deal with this moment.
Wow,
And how
I like
grateful
that.
I am
I like that.
that I was connected to a stream of providing, that I was provided for just for this
Wow.
moment.
Wow.
Personally,
Wow.
that's the way I look at it.
Wow.
And I don't worry about it because I know I've been provided for.
Yes.
So, and
Okay,
as far as the
yeah.
business is concerned, even in that was a bridge there. When I got the show, I mean, I had no idea, of course, this was going to happen. And then before the end of the first season of Bruh, we were told that we had a second season.
Yeah.
that doesn't happen a lot.
Right.
You
No,
know that too. And then we were going to go in and film the second season
Right.
early,
Right.
and then I was in a situation where I was totally safe. People took really serious measurements, measures to make sure we were safe and healthy. And so even in that's why I knew I had to come out with this music, because I didn't miss a beat. I didn't miss a beat in it. And the singing, even when I sing on this, my favorite things, my voice, it's something new. It's something, it's something new there. It's not, it doesn't
Would you
sound
say a
like
refreshing?
I have
you-
to do it.
Right. Would you say it's a
But I'm doing
refreshing?
it because I want to do it.
No, I'm saying, would you say it's a refreshing? A
Yes.
refreshing of you. But go ahead. But I kind of thought that.
Yeah,
it
and
was
it's probably, and it's probably I needed that time for that. I didn't realize that, but I probably needed that.
Exactly.
Like refresh,
Exactly.
Yes, rediscover that part of me.
Right.
I think I listen more.
Right.
I listen
Exactly.
to myself more.
Right.
Yes, I
Beautiful.
think
Because I wasn't
all of
hearing
us
the noise
need
of the business.
Right. Exactly. Go ahead, Twan.
I think our Creator, God knew all of us needed this time. We didn't necessarily know that we needed it, but He knew that we needed it.
Right.
And so that's exactly what we got, time.
Right.
And most of us, many of us, I won't say most of us, many of us want to be about business as usual.
Right.
And it's not supposed to be business as usual.
Exactly.
It's a new normal for us.
It's a new normal.
I mean, that's why it's a cover song. And I usually don't do really cover songs.
Right.
And people say, they say, well, oh, that's great because you guys are gonna sit and you're gonna write all these songs and da. But writing, you have to be in a mode to, write.
That's true.
It has to be you can't just, they just think that just because you got the time that you're gonna create something great and wonderful.
Right. You do have to be in the mode for that to happen. I totally agree.
Yeah, you got to be in a flow. You got to be in a flow, and the atmosphere really didn't have that for me. That flow like that. I didn't really know what I wanted to say.
Gotcha.
I didn't know what I wanted to say. But then when the song came up, and I thought about it and how it made me feel, I said, all of us need to feel like this.
Wow, I like that. I like that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You've been dropping so many wonderful nuggets, throughout what you're saying. I'm trying to. Those are like those crisp apple noodles in the strudel. Okay, in the
Yes.
song.
But you know what? It goes back
Right.
to you have to be in the flow to write in the flow of writing music or writing any type of lyric.
Right.
I was thinking about the movie, the Clark Sisters, and I will go back into but that is the closest thing I can say to us watching a master at work, Twinkie Clark, in the Bible. Because that's where most of her songs, and that's gospel music comes from the Bible anyway. But she had to really stay focused in that Bible and get a word from the Creator. It's just like when Michael Jackson said when he wrote Billie Jean, he did not know how to play any type of instruments. He just heard the sound from the Creator. He got into a mode, into a quiet space, and it it just something just fell upon him, and he just wrote it down, and he could remember the melody in his head. That's how he wrote most of his stuff. So it's just like you say, you have to. There is a way you have to go into writing this type of music. People think, oh, it just drops just drops on you like a pail of water. It doesn't do that. It's meditation.
Right.
It's like you're in the midst of just walking down the street and you hear something and you're inspired by it and you say, I want to capture that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that, like Tawana was saying, I mean, it's a new normal. So it took adjusting.
Right.
To just calm down. Just let the moment, whatever's happening because there wasn't nothing you could do about it. And so you couldn't force anything. Like you said, you couldn't go back to business as normal. You know, you're thinking you can. You know, people did it and then they end up going back home.
Right. Okay, we're seeing that right now. They thought they were going right back home. I love it. It's so true. It's so true.
It's the truth.
Yes.
It's
so I
so
didn't
true.
try to do that. I didn't try to go back to normal. I just had to do something different. I had to do something different.
Hello.
And it's a good, and you know, I'm grateful. I'm so excited about it. You know, and I needed to be excited about something. And hopefully it's contagious.
Well, on our part, it definitely is. So you know, it is. So like I said earlier, everybody's been watching the show for the past 4 weeks have gotten nuggets of that. You know, part of our commercial run stuff.
But it's orgasmic.
It is.
It's music that, like I said, we need music like this.
Yes.
There's just too much going on, too much crazy techno demonic. I just call it demonic music.
Yeah.
Music is supposed to make you feel good, and it's supposed to lift you up if you're having a bad day. It's supposed to give you a message. It's supposed to enlighten you on that message. And right now, for my generation, we're not being enlightened. We're not being led. Let me tell you something. I am so jealous and so envious of y'all's generation when you had Marvin Gaye, you had the Motown sound, you had the Philadelphia sound. But with the music came a message of love, community, and politics along with that, and understanding. I mean, what was the song? I'm sorry, and I'm going all over it. But Gladys Knight wrote a song called "The Friendship Train." You remember that song?
Yes.
The Friendship Train? I was listening to that the other night. I was working, and I said, God, this is such a message right now. And it's so bad that we're not getting that message over the radio. Right. The friendship train. Everybody get on board. Race, creed, love. We're not getting that. And it's just so sad that we're not getting this message of understanding each other. But that is so needed. That is so needed.
It is. It is. And again, it's this generation's voice. And you gotta let them speak. You know, you just they gotta find it. You know,
gotta find it.
So funny when you was naming those people, and I was thinking about people like Curtis Mayfield.
Yes.
You know that. You know, and it was during a time when it wasn't good stuff happening.
Right, that's true.
Nixon.
But you need something that's gonna feel you.
Right.
That's gonna inspire you and encourage you to do something and not dwell in the negative things and you want to talk about that. You know, you want to talk about. You don't have to talk about it. It's being done. You don't have to talk about it.
Right.
Talk something into existence. Talk something good to happen.
Exactly.
You know, do that. Think about that. I mean, it's not acting like it doesn't exist.
Right.
It's not acting like we're not going through something.
Right.
But we got to have some hope to get out of it.
Amen.
See, there's that Chris Apple just came down. That apple, there's that Chris Apple that just came down. Okay. Yes, love it. I love it. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, guys. We're going to talk a little bit. We want to talk about Bro a little bit when we get back from the commercial. Okay.
Yes. And and we got to talk about my concert that's coming up.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Definitely. Oh yeah. Please. Definitely. Yeah. Guys, we'll be right back after the commercial.
Okay.
more on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth Behind the Truth. It is such an exciting night. Oh my gosh. I hope you YouTube family, y'all are like getting inspired as we are on Facebook. Y'all should be rolling over tonight, okay? This is such a great show. I'm serious.
My goodness, I love talking this type of stuff because we're on musical. We're not gonna don't hit
Okay.
we got to get into this.
But yeah, and I love such, the one part about Truth Behind Truth. We're such an organic show, and by being organic, we could be like program, but being organic, it allows the opportunity us to be able to flow freely, and stay whatever. Exactly. We're here to download, what I mean? Because those Chris Apple that you have been dropping on us tonight, girl, they've been good, okay? But now they've become a part of our favorite things, okay? If anybody ain't pulling them apples tonight, something wrong, all right? Hey, I'm telling you, there's some good nuggets coming through here, very inspiring to the youth and to the mature, as well. I mean, you have to. If you don't walk away from this show tonight with a better, clear vision of where you have gone to where you can go and set a different framework for 2021, you missed all what you're supposed to do in 2020. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Because you have missed, regardless if it's been a struggle or not, you have missed the purpose of your 2020. You know what I'm saying? And the purpose of here was to prepare you for your 2021. That's true. So if you go back and experience, once you cross over to 2021, you still talking about 2020, you got a problem.
This will be the year to talk about.
You know what I'm saying? You got a problem, and you really need to face it and look at it from a different perspective, But like you said, on the show, you got to speak those things into existence, like you said, earlier. That should be your motive. You know what I mean? You don't want to go into 2021 talking about what happened in 2020 because it has nothing to do with where you go. Okay. Yeah. So what has happened tonight? Again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Them crisp apple noodles that came down, baby, they have been good. Okay.
Apple strudel.
I'm saying, I'm being cute. Noodles, okay? Noodles, okay. But it's noodle the strudel because it's been so sweet.
Noodle strudels.
But you know what? With the year of 2020, I'm going to make this short. But my favorite things is bringing the song itself. It brings you back to simpler times.
Okay. And
that's what this year is bringing. Like we said in the beginning, this year is bringing us together when it comes down to community and family, and that was what simpler times looked like. Brown paper bags, crisp apple strudels. That was when community was community.
That's good.
So at the end of the day, this is the year of my favorite things. We have to get back to what is not what we call small things, but they're big things in love and understanding, especially within the Black community. We give apples and oranges on Christmas, and that is tradition. Pecans, nuts, yes. So that is my favorite things.
Yeah, that's good.
That makes you happy. Yeah.
Wow, that's a moment right there, y'all. Wow.
Yeah, so important. I was thinking about raindrops on roses. It's like what do we think about when we think about the rain anymore? I mean, we walk outside, we're just walking outside. We're not looking at nature and going like how beautiful the trees, how those are the things when we were young we paid attention to. True. I mean, even little sticks on the ground, just the birds and the all this other stuff is kind of taking that away, but it's still here. It's still here. Wow. The other stuff is going on, but that stuff is still here.
It's still here.
We had a beautiful summer.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a beautiful summer.
Yes.
We're gonna have a beautiful winter.
Absolutely.
Those things in nature, and we're gonna still have those things.
A representation of God and love.
Absolutely.
God and love. Representation.
God and love gonna have those things. That's it.
We're in a
Yeah.
season
Favorite
where
thing.
we're being it's like we're being ushered, and we're determining which usher we're going to go with. There's the usher to usher us down the negative path of negativity,
Right.
and there's the usher to usher us down the path of possibility and the beauty and the wonderful things that can happen. So we
Yes.
can choose to hang out on the negative and what's not right and who did what and so forth, or we can choose to, I'm going to choose the positive and the things that give birth to life,
Yes.
Mm.
fill me up with goodness. And
Yes.
Yes.
these are a few of my favorite things.
Favorite
That's
things.
what I
Yes.
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 Yes. Woo.
Yes.
Wow. 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 Wow.
And then at the end, because like I said, at the end, because it was organic, what we
Yes.
were doing, I began to say, you're my favorite thing.
Wow.
And
I love
didn't
it.
even know that until at the end when I was listening. I was like, I'm not saying, I'm not saying, I'm saying you.
You
You
are
are.
you. Okay.
You.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is
You are a
good. This
few of
is
my
so
favorites.
good.
Like that.
Oh my God. I hate to transition to talk about something else. And I love staying in these moments. But I know you want to talk about your upcoming concert. And then we're going to hit bruh. And then we're going to hit bruh.
Yeah.
And
Okay, we
then,
hit bruh now, and then I'll talk about the concert.
okay,
How
go
about
ahead.
that?
Go ahead.
Good.
So,
Okay.
so I know
Okay.
Twan, you had a question about bruh, didn't you? Sure.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Chandra.
Okay. John, go ahead, Sean.
No, you were going to ask me a question?
Oh yeah. So this season and how it's been moving. What can we expect out of Mama and Brothers ain't coming up?
Well, know what I love about it. See, the thing about Tyler is, even though he's in Whack World,
Right.
he's still connected to the truth.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so even in the wackiness, all the crazy stuff that's going on, people are seeing truth in it.
Yes.
Because
yes,
he didn't know anything else.
Right.
Because he's writing from experience. He's writing from hearing, looking at people. He didn't go to school and say you come up with a certain type of method to tell a story.
Right.
He just knows about the real stories that he's seen.
Okay. Okay.
And so even in the second season, Alice is still crazy, but it's some truth that's going to come out
Okay.
about being who she is.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and the cost of who she is.
Okay.
Because everything's a cost.
Yes. Yes.
And so it doesn't just happen. And there's no consequence.
Okay.
So it's some truth in some things that's going to happen for her. But I love the way he layers it, because because sometimes people don't know how to take things too heavy. I mean, you just
right, exactly.
throw it on them and bam. And I think that's why people like him, because now we got a thing like we want to be just blunt. We just want to just put it in your face, shove it in your face.
Right.
Okay, look at it. But sometimes you need to be thoughtful,
Yes.
tender, and by the way, this is what I noticed.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta be like that, and I think that's how he's dealing with her. But they added on. I think we're probably about 15 minutes longer, 15, 20, something like that, minutes longer. So it's a little bit more Alice, which I'm kind of glad of that. But the stories get a little bit more intense, but it is a drama. It's a dramedy. So
right.
Dramedy. Comedy. So it's still hilarious. It's just crazy.
Yes.
It's like I'll listen to it, and I know it's me, but I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it. I don't believe she did that, or I don't.
Right. Exactly.
But I know people like that I've said that about. I don't believe.
Okay.
Right. So it's not that it's something that he's made up. It's a real person.
Right.
It's just a real person. But we have so much fun, on set because and you guys know this. It's like working with actors. These actors are kind of different than some of a lot of the actors he have on the show, because he doesn't mind you going in and saying, you know what, that kind of weird right there, you know.
Right.
So I feel like if I do this, it'll make, more sense.
Yes.
They're not afraid to do that.
Right.
And I love that, which keeps a kind of a flow going on of truth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So they're not just doing it because I give you a script here, just do it.
Right. Exactly.
They're not like that. They read the script and go like,
Okay.
they know how to say this. So I love, so when we do it, we just, it's just so real to us, so we're not saying something that, I wouldn't say that, that person wouldn't say that.
Right.
They wouldn't do that because they've already gone through it and saw where it wasn't going to look right.
Right.
It wasn't going to look right. But some people just go ahead and they just do it and they don't even know why they're doing it.
Right. And that's one of the things that women that are struggling. Now, I say struggling, but it's not a struggle, but because he fights with me all the time when I have auditions, because I hear something different into the character than necessarily was on the paper. You know what I mean? So when you're preparing for it, even though the words say you should say this, the words come out differently because the character would be saying it the way that you are thinking it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make you wrong. But again, getting past the audition, they want you to be specifically, in terms of where it is. But I think sometimes is that in the audition process is that if they will allow actors, or we actors, that when you are auditioning, that if you adjust the script a little because you feel the character, you would probably sell it better on TV and film versus trying to stick to the letter of the law, or the letter of the page, or the letter of the script. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right, just like being a singer. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, I've been in the studio where, the producer say, when the producer wasn't in the room, you just go ahead and you go sing it or whatever, and everybody just love it, because and they're all musical, that kind of thing. And then when the producer come in who is not really musical, he's probably just a person that hired people to put stuff together. Right. And then when he comes in, he's just like, well, what's that? And then you're like, well, I think I know. So that's almost like that. It's like somebody telling you something that you specialize in,
right?
That they don't specialize in,
right?
They're just hiring you for something. You know what I mean? It's like I specialize in becoming somebody else. That you're asking me to take a different form. That's what I do.
Right.
And so it's just, sometimes it's just, and it. You go like, this ain't it. This ain't it, but this ain't, this is what I want. But it's like, but you're talking to the person that, this is what I do.
Right. And for them to give you the leeway to be able to trust that idea, and I think that what we see in terms of acting, and we'll probably move on. I know you got a question. We're going to have to wrap up the show, but in that, you would probably see better quality of acting in a lot of shows if that freedom was given to the actor and trust them to, you trust them to put their script in front of them, trust them to interpret that script the way that they feel that they need to. And they may need to articulate it with different words.
Yes. Because that's your job. Your job is to interpret. Exactly.
And your interpretation has to come out, it's downloaded to you in that moment. Or prepared for that moment. And one of the points, and I think at this time we've been very spiritual. This is one of the problems, quote unquote, and then we'll move on and talk about the concert and we'll wrap the show up. Is that where ministries, quote unquote, you and I are part of as we put it, one of the greatest ministries on the planet.
Yes.
However, one of the things that I think a lot of ministries miss is the fact that they don't put themselves in a moment for the download. Because they go in thinking, I need to prepare to say all of this, where our creator saying, this ain't what I want you to say. You know what I mean? And you wonder why it falls on a position of deaf ear, quote unquote.
Right.
Because you lost your moment. You have a moment. There's a word for that moment, but you want to prepare for something else. I want to do it my way. But the creator says, I need you to do it this way. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. Exactly. That's right. That's good. That's a good word.
You prepared. Like the script says, you prepared. But when you get up there and you're like, this don't feel right.
That's right.
This don't feel right. You need to go where the feeling is and move in that feeling. I know you had fun. So go ahead with and talk about the concert. We want to hear about that. Your
Okay,
concert.
so great. So this all worked out. It's just in divine order. So I wanted to do, because I have not done a live concert this year. I had to cancel everything.
Right.
And so once I did this, the CD, did the song or whatever, and I did get airplay, and it's just the way things go. You get the product, you promote the product, you get the product played, and then you perform it.
Yes.
So that's the thing that was missing. And so I just said, in the spirit, the spirit said, hey, you got to perform it. The people got to see you do it. They got to, do something. And so I did. And so now I'm going to do a stream December 20th, 5 days before Christmas.
Okay.
And I'm calling it a virtual holiday experience.
Wow.
Because I'm gonna mix a lot of things up in it. I'm just not gonna do the tradition, because people, everybody doing a Christmas show and you doing the same songs everybody else doing.
You're right.
So, I mean, it might be two songs that I'm doing maybe that everybody's doing, but the rest of them, and a couple of more Christmas songs, but they're not the kind of songs that people listen, that's popular. Oh, but they're gonna like them. They're gonna like them because they're still in the vein of my Urspa jazz. They're gonna have that feeling and some of them gonna be a little jazzy, and and then I'll mix some other things up in there that I know people want me to sing, like "Love Again" from Diary. I got to do that.
Yes.
A couple things from my other CDs and kind of mix that in there.
Right.
But it's gonna be.
I wish you could do my favorite song. My favorite song. From Medea's Family, the choir song. Oh my God! Oh,
I can't do nothing about. I can't do that song about somebody dying.
I know, but oh my God!
Wrong setting.
I know it is, but but it's that. And again, every time I watch that, it just pulled me in. I am serious. It's just well, how many times you on set that day? How many times you have to do that, or you just do it one time that day on set?
I did it one. That was a one take.
You did it one take.
Actually, my nicknames was when I was with the SOS band and stuff.
Right.
It was One Take Corelli.
Okay. I love it
because that. I had to get it on the first take. They'll ask, well, let's just do another one. And no, let's go back to the first time she did it.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. So that was, but you don't forget that I did the play.
Yes.
Right. I went, for the tour.
Right.
So
exactly.
I could do it that one time. I could do it that
one time. Oh my God. Anyway, we got to move on.
Yeah. I wish I could, but I just don't. Feel like flying to heaven.
Right.
On that show.
I know that's right. Definitely, we'll definitely have you post all the information. Send it to me so we can get it up on the page and where everybody can go, for the show that on the 20th.
Okay. Also, so for the show for December 20th, go to perfectnotelive.com.
Perfectnotelive.com.
Notelive.com. And get tickets and make sure that you go for the virtual, because I'm gonna have a limited audience in there. It's not gonna be a whole lot of people. It's gonna be very small.
Yes.
Inside, but it's basically a virtual concert.
Okay.
So make sure that they get those tickets for the virtual. Okay. They're gonna be out of the other ones anyway because they ain't gonna head to it. So and the place hold like 100 or something.
Really? Okay. I'm excited about that. That's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait.
These concerts is going to be really, really good. And you can go to my website, ChandraCorelli.com.
Okay.
Facebook, Chandra Corelli. Then you can go to the fan page of Chandra Corelli. So it's even Twitter is Chandra Corelli. So it's pretty simple.
Well, we're going to make sure that all of those are definitely posted on the page.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for having me, and it was great meeting you. It was great. You're awesome, and
hey,
you guys just keep doing it.
You're a joy.
Yes, we're family here. We gonna make that happen, at any given time. And of course, next Sunday's gonna be like off the chain. Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Can you imagine all of
yes,
it? Yeah, it's gonna be off the chain. Oh man, I'm so excited. Twan, did you have any quick points you want to make?
Just to say that I enjoyed connecting with her spirit, and I will continue to keep you lifted, that the Lord will use your talent to continue to bless the universe, sister. I can feel your spirit is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, this was great. It was wonderful. And like you said, the nuggets are being poured,
Yeah.
So you had a great audition too. So that's a great thing.
Thank you.
The great was what I call the crisp apple strudel noodles.
Yes, yes.
They have been dropped on us tonight.
Yes, they have.
They have. Can you do us a quick break? Can you give us a few bars before as we leave tonight? Are you?
Oh, you trying to do that again?
Oh,
She said again. You trying to
you trying to do that again? No, I'm not. No, you're gonna have to watch the virtual concert.
Oh, okay, she got me tonight. Okay.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yes.
He got you, boo.
That'll really give you something.
Yes.
You
For
will
sure.
Get a little taste of it.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
My goodness, guys.
I'll see you Sunday.
Yes, definitely. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We want to give kisses to our wonderful sister. I love you so much, Chandra. And how we love it, how we end our guests every week on the show. Now here it is, Shonda. Well, Shonda.
I love it.
Yes.
Be blessed.
Yes.
And again, I'll see you Sunday.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Twana, thank you so much for being here tonight, my darling.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, because this is your new home now. We're gonna pull you back in, so now you're part of the family.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, truth behind the truth.
I'm blessed. Thank you.
Truth behind the truth.
Yes, ma'am. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Once again, we want to thank our wonderful, my wonderful co-host, my cousin, Tawan Scott, and the beautiful Chandra Corelli being with us tonight. Guys, remember next week. Okay, remember next week, December 13th on your Perspective Time Zones. Okay, it's going to be an awesome show. You guys do not want to miss it. It'll be fun. Get a T-shirt. Yeah. Remember to subscribe, like, all those other things involved. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a super night. And I want to also, real quick for the moment, to send a birthday loves out to my mom.
Yeah.
This would have been her 103rd birthday on the planet. It's just to hear. We love her dearly. Thank you, Mom, for all you've done. Thank you for the inspiration. You and Aunt Florence have done what Twan and I are doing right now. You set the motion for us so long ago. And we just thank you.
Amen.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We just thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, but Twan understands how this feels to me. And
Yes.
it's just so endearing. It is. I wanted to talk about it tonight, and it's because I knew I was trying to bring it together, but we're way over time. We'll have to share it in another. You know what? Hell, it's my show. Okay. It's my show. Okay.
Hi, Jenny.
Drop that nugget on us real quick, and we'll leave it at that point about that story you share with me.
At 100, she would have been 103. My mom would have been 98, 99. And they were out one day, and someone said to them, "I want you to go dance for us." And their mother said, "No, I don't want you. They just want you to get up there and dance for the white folk." And somebody else said, "No, go on up there and dance." And so they went and they danced, quote unquote, for the white folk. And that jump started them into another stratosphere, so to speak. And they went on to do beautiful things for the universe. My Aunt Jenny was a businesswoman. That's John's mother. Was a businesswoman and went on to be one of the first stylists and had her own shop in Detroit. My mother went on to be in theater and acting and they had a sister, and they performed across the country. And I think one of their highlights was that they performed at the White House when Reagan was at the inauguration. And so it's a special moment just to know how Aunt Jenny, John's mom, laid the foundation, and her sisters from there. And we're standing on their shoulders now, like all of us are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Yes.
Thanks be God.
Yes. Yes.
They deserve
Y'all have a
it.
blessed night. Hey, thank you again, guys.
Have a blessed
Audience,
night.
hey, like I told you, it was my show. So, hey, we ran over. Okay, it's my damn show. All right, so.
Love you guys.
It's my damn show.
It's my damn show.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you.
Bye-bye. God bless.
Y'all have a blessed night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on The Truth Behind the Truth. Good night, y'all.
Good night.